Bayero cancels sallah amid rising tension. Lakurawa terrorist group kills 2 customs officers, 1 other in Kebbi. Senate orders probe into rising data costs, urges affordable internet policies. And away from Nigeria, Zimbabwe president removes army chief amid group speculation. Hello and welcome to Trust News Updates. My name is Idris Baturi. The 15th Emir of Kano, Emir Bayero, has announced the cancellation of this year's Sallah festivities, citing the need to maintain peace and security in the state. In a broadcast, the Emir expressed regret over the decision but emphasized that ensuring the safety of lives and property remains his top priority. He acknowledged that the decision was influenced by consultations with respected religious leaders and other concerned stakeholders. He further stressed that while the Salah Durbar is a cherished tradition, it should not come at the expense of peace and stability. The Emir expressed hope that the decision would contribute to lasting peace in Kano and the nation at large, and extended his apologies to the people of Kano, urging them to embrace the move in the interest of the state's well-being.
Bisa shugabanci na al'umma da Ubangiji madaukakin sarki ya dora.
Following the people's mandate bestowed upon us and our commitment to their protection, we find it necessary to withdraw any arrangements made for Salah celebrations given the current situation. Salah Durbar is not a do-or-die affair for us. If it risks becoming a source of chaos, loss of lives, or destruction of property, then it is best to shelve it. We are calling on all our followers to abide by our decision, which was reached to ensure peace in Kano and the country in general.
Now, as the Ramadan fast winds down, Muslims in Nigeria have joined other faithful around the world to observe the Tahajjud prayer. The night, often referred to as the night of power by Muslim faithful, is believed to come with greater rewards. In this report, Kabir Lawal reports on how Muslims in the FCT came out en masse to observe the prayers. The report.
Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, is the night when Quran was first revealed. It is also the night when angels descend to the earth and destinies are shaped for the year ahead. Worship on this night, according to Allah, is much more rewarding than 83 years of devotion. The Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, urged faithful to seek this night in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, particularly on the odd night of 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th or 29th. Some FCT residents acknowledged the significance of the night and called on Muslim faithful not to relent in praying to make Nigeria great.
More than 80 years of worship if you are lucky to fall on Laylatul Qadr. So how many people will live up to 80 years? It's more than 83 years and some fractions. So today is a very vital day in life. So if one is lucky to be alive today, you should seek Allah's blessing and favor today. That's why we're here.
Looking forward to the night of majesty. Nobody knows which day it is, but as our own practice, apart from praying fervently in the last 10 days, we also set aside one of the odd number days to seek Allah's guidance.
For many, remaining steadfast during the last 10 days of Ramadan bring faithful closer to God, hence the need for Muslims to emulate the good virtues learned during the holy month.
And especially these last days, Allah said, increase your dua. It's the most precious 10 days of the month.
Laylatul Qadr falls in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, but the exact night is not known. The night is also known as the night of power due to the increased reward and blessings from worship. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The federal government has declared Monday, March 31 and Tuesday, April 1 as public holidays to mark the Eid al-Fitr celebration. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday signed by the ministry's permanent secretary, Magdalene Ajani. The minister congratulated all Muslims for successful completion of the fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. He urged all Muslims to embrace the virtues of self-discipline, compassion, generosity, and peace, emphasizing the importance of love, forgiveness, and solidarity in building a harmonious society. Tunji-Ojo called on Nigerians to use this festive period to pray for peace, stability, and prosperity of the nation. He expressed hope that the joyous occasion of Eid al-Fitr will inspire unity and cooperation across religious and ethnic lines. Now, with Sallah just days away, livestock markets across Kano are witnessing low patronage. While prices are lower than last year due to improved feed availability, many residents still struggle with affordability. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim reports.
As the Sallah celebration approaches, the demand for livestock, especially chickens, is on the rise. Here at this street side market known for selling local chicken species, traders say prices are lower compared to last year. For over 44 years we've been selling local chickens here. Last year prices were very high because poultry feed of course was scarce. But this year feed is more available, so prices have dropped. This guinea fowl costs just 8,000 naira, while this is now 4,000 naira, but last year it went for about 5,500 naira. The larger fowl is 5,000 naira, but it was 6,000 naira or even more previously. The story is the same at other markets where different breeds of chickens are sold. Last year, poultry farmers struggled with high feed costs due to maize scarcity, pushing prices of a large fowl to above 15,000 naira. This year, with feed availability improving, traders say the same chicken now sells for about 8,500 naira. Feed prices really affected us last year, but now the cost has reduced, so we are selling at better prices. These can go for 8,000 naira, but last year we couldn't even get them to buy from the farmers. However, despite the drop in prices, some residents say low purchasing power is still a challenge.
Honestly, things are very expensive. They are just too very expensive. As in, then you can get a chicken. The one I bought now I bought it, two of it for like 17,000. At first, it said 20,000 naira. So I have to like price it. So you leave it for me to buy it for 17,000 naira. So what can one say? Because they know all what is happening. They know the masses are suffering. Honestly, they know everything. So we just need God intervention on all the things that are going on.
With less than a week to Sallah, traders expect prices to rise as demand increases, but the question remains, will buyers be able to afford them? Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Members of the Lakura terrorist group on Tuesday killed 2 customs officers and a local at the Bachaka border area of Argungu local government area of Kebbi State. The latest attack on uniform and civilians on the axis came barely 24 hours after the combined security forces neutralized 2 Lakura members last week. The public relations officers of the Kebbi State Police Command, Nafiu Abubakar, who confirmed the attack, said he was yet to identify which of the customs units the slain officers belonged to. He said the Commissioner of Police, Sani Bello, has paid an on-the-spot visit to the scene of the incident and warned that forces will not be intimidated by the attacks. He said the attacks are evidence that members of the terror group are being weakened by the sustained onslaught to completely decimate them. Now, the Suru Community Development Association has condemned the killings of 3 of its members by bandits in Kushika and Kabeni in Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. The victims, identified as Obadiah Dangana, Emmanuel Moses, popularly known as Bob Lingai, and Danjuma Sardauna, were reportedly kidnapped on March 22, 2025. However, despite paying ransom as demanded by the abductors, their bodies were later discovered in the forest by security operatives. In a statement by the association's National Public Relations Officer, Caleb Balamagaji, the community expressed concern over the persistent insecurity in Kumana Chiefdom, and other parts of Kauru local government area. It lamented the rising rate of kidnapping in the area, stating that many residents remain in captivity even after ransom had been paid. Now, the Nigerian Senate has mandated its Committee on Communications to investigate the recent increase in the cost of data and recommend solutions for a more sustainable and business-friendly telecommunications sector. The Red Chamber also asked the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy to develop a policy framework for affordable internet service in Nigeria. These were part of the resolutions after a debate on a bill sponsored by Senator Asuko Epenyong, which highlights the financial strain the hike has placed on millions of Nigerians, particularly young people who rely on affordable internet access for their livelihoods. The reports.
Senator Epenyong had in his motion kicked against the recent increase in the costs of data and other services by telecommunications operators, calling for an urgent review.
The Senate is concerned that fiber optic internet services remain unaffordable for the average young Nigerians, leaving them heavily dependent on mobile telecommunications companies for internet access, and that the sudden and substantial increase in data costs threatens their economic survival and limits access to critical digital services. The Senate is further concerned that the reasons provided by telecom providers for the data price hike include high operational costs, unfavorable exchange rates, are untenable, and appears that instead of addressing the root causes of the high cost of doing business in Nigeria, the burden is being unfairly transferred to end users.
Senators unanimously endorsed the motion at the session, which was presided over by President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio.
When you are suffering on the cost of telecommunication services, you are suffering on the high cost of electricity, you are suffering on the high cost of digital television services. The costs are quite high on Nigerians. And I believe that even the Protection Consumer Commission is not helping out in this matter.
The debate in supporting this motion on the urgent need to address the increased cost of data services in Nigeria. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, much as the high cost of data affects everyone in this country, including my humble self, but I'm particularly interested in this because of the manner it affects the young men who are in larger population in this country, who are the most productive sector. They rely on data to acquire, resources that we are not able to provide for them. We can't give them jobs. And they use their creativity to ensure that they get productive.
So this motion, when implemented, will assist particularly our young entrepreneurs, not only to remain in business, but to ensure that they have affordable pricing that will also generate revenue and profits for them. So I thank you for bringing this motion. I thank my colleagues for their contributions and for the amendments done to the prayers. I thank you. So congratulations for this.
The Senate, however, asked the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy to engage with telecommunications providers to review the data costs and ensure that pricing remains fair and affordable for all Nigerians.
Moving on to more stories. For the fourth time since December, primary school teachers across the FCT have downed tools, throwing thousands of pupils into yet another academic blackout. The teachers, already struggling to survive the harsh economy, are protesting the non-implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage 8 months after its approval. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail reports on the deepening crisis in Nigeria's public education sector.
8 months after the federal government approved a new minimum wage, FCT's primary school teachers are still waiting for a rise that never came. Over the weekend, the Nigeria Union of Teachers directed members under the Local Education Authority to resume their strike on Monday, March 24, 2025, after FCT Council Chairman failed to implement the new wage in February salaries. The delay is pushing teachers further into financial distress as inflation and the cost of living spiral out of control.
On a daily basis, with my feeding, I spend an average of 5,300 naira daily to go to work and come back. And then so when I was doing the analysis, I discovered that even on transport alone, the whole of my salary will have been gone. My transport and probably just feeding. That's a meal per day. Not to talk of my afternoon and evening. Then have families to take care of, children's school fees, their health. I have relations to take care of. So actually, the life has not been easy with us, the primary school teachers.
While teachers struggle, pupils are paying the ultimate price, missing lessons, losing academic progress, and watching their dreams slip further away.
Empty classrooms in a deserted environment. This is the current situation right now at the Besa LEA Primary School in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. And the area councils of the FCT, 6 of them, have over 600 LEA primary schools who are currently on strike.
We have been on strike for more than 3 times. And honestly, it has affected the children seriously. Because the children that could read and write, the thing has affected them, their learning has dropped. As a result, we are as if we are starting afresh. When we call, they are picking up, before you know it, they are dropped. They asked to go home without their wish. And the thing truly is affecting them in every ramification. Yes. My wish is that if there is something that the government would do to make sure that strike stop, especially in FCT, permanently. That is all our pleading. And our wish is, secondly, that the teachers should be paid. They should consider them and treat them well so that they will give their best to these young ones.
They will concentrate on their learning. They will learn. But presently, they are at home playing, following bad friends. Especially when they break, you will not see them. Some of them will be going to riverside. They will be playing in a deep river.
Beyond unpaid salaries, FCT's public schools are crumbling. Overcrowded classrooms, decaying infrastructure, and a severe teacher shortage paint a grim picture of a broken system. But as classrooms remain locked and frustration mounts, time is running out to save what's left of public education. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now in business, the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, on Wednesday revealed that the landing cost of imported petrol has risen by 88 naira per litre in just 1 week, from 797 naira to 885 naira. This increase is expected to lead to higher petrol prices in the coming weeks, following the ongoing issues between the Dangote refinery and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) over the naira for crude deal. The new landing cost now exceeds the 860 naira per litre that customs pay for Dangote petrol. The Dangote refinery's ex-depot price remains 815 naira per litre, which is 70 naira lower than the new landing cost. This rise follows several weeks of price cuts, which saw petrol prices drop from about 1,000 naira per litre in January to 860 naira per litre. Following the announcement of the naira for crude suspension by Dangote Group, the cost of loading petrol at private depots in Lagos surged to 900 naira per litre, up from 850 naira. And away from Nigeria, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa on Tuesday appointed country's army chief as sport minister. A statement from the presidency on Tuesday said Nselem Sanyatwi had been retired and assigned to head the sports docket. The sport vacancy became available this month after Christy Coventry was elected president of the International Olympic Committee. Sanyatwi's removal as army chief comes at a time of increased political sparring ahead of general elections set for 2028. Analysts say Mnangagwa's appears to be acting as to shield himself from potential mutiny. A section of cadre of the ruling Zunu PF party wants Constantino Chinwenga, Mnangagwa's deputy, who removed Robert Mugabe in 2017 to take over as president. In recent months, Mnangagwa has also shuffled the head of police and intelligence service. Now in sport, Barcelona have initiated contact with Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman's representatives, signaling their intent to secure the Nigerian international signature during the upcoming summer transfer window. The 27-year-old, currently on international duty with Super Eagles, has emerged as a prime target for the Spanish giant following a stellar 2023-2024 campaign that saw him win the African Player of the Year award and claim a Europa League winners medal. According to Spanish media outlets, Fichajes Barcelona have commenced the preliminary discussion about a potential transfer, with lead coach Hansi Flick viewing Lookman as key potential addition to strengthen the club's attacking options. Ademola has scored 13 goals and provided 5 assists in 23 Serie A appearances, making him a sought-after prospect for tier club. The forward's market value is estimated at £65 million, $54.2 million, with multiple Premier League clubs also showing keen interest. Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool are reportedly monitoring the player's situation. And with that, we wrap up this news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media handles and also watch us live on YouTube at Trust TV Live. I am Idris Baturi, saying goodbye for now.